The Nigerian Stock Exchange, on its pathway to achieving full demutualization, held a court-ordered meeting and extraordinary general meeting to formalize its plans and strategy. Chaired by the President of the Council of Nigerian Stock Exchange, Otunba Abimbola Ogunbanjo, it was an opportunity for dealing members and ordinary members to adopt key resolutions for the demutualization process. First was the 12 key resolutions for the transition process for the NSE, read by the Secretary of the Council, Mrs. Mojisola Adeola.
That the exchange be converted from a company limited by guarantee to a company limited by shares and re-registered as a public company in the name Nigerian Exchange Group PLC. 3, that the memorandum and articles of association of the re-registered exchange be amended to state the new name, Nigerian Exchange Group PLC, the share capital, and reflect all the requisite provision required of a public company limited by shares. 4, that an authorized share capital of 1,250,000,000 naira, consisting of 2,500,000,000 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, be registered with the Corporate Affairs Commission for Nigerian Exchange Group PLC. 5, that a total of 40,083,999 ordinary shares, representing 2% of the issued shares of the Nigerian Exchange Group PLC, be set aside as claims review shares for allotment to parties who are judged as being entitled to shares in the demutualized exchange, pursuant to the provisions of the Demutualization Act 2018.
The motion for adoption followed with the members voting overwhelmingly for the approval of the scheme of arrangements for the demutualization, with all 257 members in support of the plans. After the result was received, the court-ordered session concluded with the post-demutualization extraordinary general meeting, still chaired by the President of the Council of the NSE, Otunba Abimbola Ogunbanjo. The Secretary of the Council at the meeting read the resolution, proposed new board members, and employee share ownership plan.
1. Otunba Abimbola Ogunbanjo, Mr. Oscar N. Onyema, OON, Dr. Umaru Karanga, Dr. Okechukwu Crescent Itaye, Mrs. Nimi Akikube, Mrs. Fatima Binta Bello Ismail, Mr. Oluwole Adeosun, Mr. Chidi Agbapu, Mr. Patrick Ajayi, Professor Enase Okonedo, Mr. Ibobe Apollos, Ogene Rishewarami, and Mrs. Oginika Nkechinyelu Olagere.
Shareholders voted to adopt the new members of the board and the employee share ownership plan.
Hereby move that the listed members be appointed.
That's right. That's good. Thank you very much.
I, Isiaku Umar, hereby second the motion.
Would all those in favor of this motion please signify by raising your right hand? All those against? Nobody. The motion is unanimously carried. Thank you.
President of the Council, Otunba Abimbola Ogunbanjo, Mr. Oscar Onyema, CEO of the NSE, and the Acting Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Ms. Mary Uduk, all speak on the value and benefits of the demutualization of the stock exchange.
How will this transform the Nigerian capital market landscape, which has been the yearnings of stakeholders and players in the market?
Well, I think that, first of all, let us understand what demutualization is all about. It is the conversion of a limited by guarantee corporation to a limited by shares corporation. We will be operating as a public entity now, a for-profit public entity. So the first thing that is going to happen, and the first transformation you're going to see, is the decoupling of membership rights and ownership rights. They're going to be decoupled. So prior to this demutualization, you had the only members were the daily members and the ordinary members. Now that is going to be different. So when you operate as a for-profit entity, the first thing that you're going to see is that you're going to see enhanced performance. You're going to see competition. You're going to see deepening of the market. You're going to see foreign investors looking at the Nigerian Stock Exchange to invest in. You're going to see flexibility in the products which we give. So there are numerous benefits that we're going to get out of the mutualization.
I think this is a very auspicious and important day for the history of the capital market. It's a one-in-a-lifetime event. A lot of demutualization exercises have happened all over the world, and for those jurisdictions where this have happened, it has been a good story. And you agree with me that this will totally transform the operations of the exchange going forward. You know that there will be the exchange will be separated into regulation and also the business aspect of it. And you do know that eventually in the future we expect that the exchange itself would list in the exchange. And of course, you know, that is when the work of the SEC will begin, because you have to be able to regulate an exchange, you know, that is listed in itself, and also be able to ensure that the proper Chinese walls, you know, are kept for the protection of investors. It has to be such that the investors will be able to have confidence in the system, because the exchange itself will be competing with the other listed companies who are also listed in the exchange. So we have to ensure that proper corporate governance is maintained, you know, by the exchange. We have to ensure that other listed companies are also protected, as well as the investors in the market. We have to be able to give confidence to particularly foreign investors as well as the local investors. And I also want to say that this will also help the exchange in terms of competition, because I see more investors coming into the exchange, and it will also engender more competition, because now the exchange is a business. So it will now be competing with other businesses, and therefore it will also have to be very transparent and also very efficient in the way the exchange is run. So I want to say that it's a very happy day for the capital market and for Nigeria indeed, and as well as Africa. I don't know how many exchanges are demutualized in Africa, but I think this is a very good day for Nigeria, and I'm very happy.
How will this improve the efficiency of the Nigerian Stock Exchange?
First of all, let me say that I agree with the acting DG. I think that by demutualizing and opening the exchange up, we will run like any other corporate entity. That means we'll have a board of directors, we'll have appropriate governance over management activities. So improvements in corporate governance is one. The second thing is that because we're restructuring and we're going to be implementing a new business plan that is designed to allow the new entity to access all the forms of capital that can be available to it, both domestically and internationally. We intend to have the best technology, the best people, and be able to access new verticals that, prior to now we could not access. Also, demutualization is viewed as a way of modernization. So if you look at the exchanges that have demutualized, they've greatly modernized their activities and gotten into various verticals that they did not have before. So we're expecting the same thing for the exchange. Finally, it provides for de-risking of access to capital in the country. Right now, there's a huge concentration on the banking industry. So with this effort, we believe that we'll provide a credible complement to the banking industry in terms of financing business activities and things like that. So there are many positives that can come out of this, not only for the exchange, but for the capital market and the country as a whole, as the exchange takes its rightful place in catalyzing economic activity in the country.
With the proposed demutualization of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the expectation is that this will open up new frontiers for attracting major listings, driving technology to increase market participation, deepening the capital market, and overall creating wealth for Nigerians.